Welcome everyone to the Wake Up Call channel. I have to cover this song and video that is trending on YouTube called Oh, Shh, for lots of reasons. Most of you know that the finger over the mouth, the shh sign that we see so often, is a vow of silence. It is a symbol that symbolizes the vow and the oath of silence that all of these Satanists in high positions of power in your Congress, in Hollywood, in the music industry, all take to keep those promises of their secret societies that they're members of secret. And there's a music video out called Oh Shh, and as most of you probably know, if you don't know, we've always heard about the predictive programming we've seen in shows like The Simpsons over the years. Well, music videos are always filled with a lot of predictive programming and a lot of symbolism of things to come as well. And so is this video, which is why I'm covering it. Well, there's multiple reasons as to why. And for those of you that don't know, let me just tell you about the two people who are in this video, Ice Spice and Travis Scott. I'm sure those names, at least Travis Scott, sounds familiar to most of you who have watched my channels over the years in regards to Astroworld and the frequencies that they were using at Astroworld, and of course the mass ritual sacrifice that occurred at Astroworld. But let's start with Ice Spice, because the song is called Oh Shh, and of course, just like many other celebrities, we could see Ice Spice putting her finger up, or his finger up, over its mouth in a photograph that was taken by Ice Spice. And again, this is the vow of silence. This is why you can find every single celebrity, like I talk about with the all-seeing eye, you can find every celebrity holding up a finger over their mouth. And nobody's suspicious of it. Nobody goes, what are they doing? They're telling the photographer to keep a secret. They're telling everybody out there, shh, don't tell anybody, I just farted. What are they telling everyone? Well, they're telling you right in front of your face that they're all members of the same secret societies, the same club. And they've taken a vow of secrecy that they will take to their grave. We've seen Madonna. We've seen Robert Downey Jr. I mean, there's montages of almost every single celebrity out there holding up the symbol right over their mouths. And of course, some of the celebrities are so bold, they actually get the shh tattooed right on their finger, like this guy. Or some of these other ones like Bill and Hillary Clinton holding up the shh sign, Eminem holding it up, Jennifer Aniston, even going back to Laurel and Hardy holding up the shh sign over their mouths, because these secret societies have been around for a long period of time. It is nothing new. But people are able to become more knowledgeable of these secret societies because of channels like this, and because you can see the repetition and the pattern of them doing these signs and symbols right in front of your face. And that's one of the reasons I've been such a threat to these elites out there, is that when people see the pattern, when they see Ben Stiller or they see Rihanna getting it tattooed on their finger, people start to go, yeah, what is this really about? Why is Lindsay Lohan and Rihanna have matching tattoos of the word shh on their finger? And why are they always holding it up over their mouths? The pattern is key. When you see repetition and pattern, it's very easy to start breaking free from the mind control that you're under, because all of a sudden these people who have been operating in secret are operating right in front of your faces when you see the patterns in front of you. So you might remember Ice Spice from the Super Bowl this past year, where Ice Spice was doing what most call a satanic ritual during the Super Bowl, holding up devil horns, even wearing a pendant, an upside-down pendant on her neck, an upside-down cross. We've seen Ice Spice obviously doing the all-seeing eye symbolism. And for those of you that don't remember, the demonic pendant was given to Ice Spice by Playboy Cardi, you know, just a guy who has Satan's name tattooed on the back of his neck. But I'm sure most of these people who think that we're all conspiracy theorists would just tell us that he just got that tattoo to troll everybody out there, that it's not serious, right? Just like the tattoo he has on his stomach of the Baphomet, not to mention the X'd out crucifix tattoo above it on this guy's stomach. And of course, we've seen him with devil horn. So he gifted that to his demonic pal, Ice Spice. So the other guy in the video I mentioned is Travis Scott. And Travis Scott shows his allegiance in photos as well, as they all do. They reveal themselves to you all the time, just nobody's paying attention, holding his hand up over his eye multiple times, doing all-seeing eye symbolism. And again, Travis Scott is affiliated with the Armenian witch cult in Hollywood, which is run and operated by the Kardashian clan. So if you don't remember, as I mentioned earlier, his concert, Astroworld, 10 people died. That was that event where the frequencies were hitting levels that they, shouldn't legally be allowed to hit, and people were dying, and nobody was suspicious about it. And even recently, there are chaotic things happening at Travis Scott concerts, fears of earthquakes occurring at his concerts, or a fear of an earthquake occurring because 80,000 people are pretty much having conniptions at the concert, probably because they have a certain something inside their body that can activate with frequencies. So that's Travis Scott and that's Ice Spice. Let's take a look at the video. And again, stick around towards the end of the video because there's some very bizarre predictive programming with meteors in New York City and a potential attack on New York City. But let me start with how this video begins, which is Ice Spice inside of a display case. And elites are looking at Ice Spice. And as Ice Spice's birthday, right, as she's inside of this cage, it says Ice Spice, January 1st, 2000, Bronx, New York. And inside of that cell that she's in, as all these rich people are walking around staring at her, you could see all these butterflies. And that's really summarizes what these celebrities are. They're trophies to these people. These celebrities are all under mind control. They all are put through MK Ultra mind control programming. A lot of them are sex kittens who are famous, who are used by the elites. And of course, we know how they are used to be social influencers. So we see the butterfly theme again inside of this prison that she's in, inside of this glass case that Ice Spice is trapped in. We see all of these butterflies buzzing around. And it's one of the most common themes that we see, the butterflies, right? We've seen Katy Perry with butterflies on her head. Nobody thinks anything of it, right? They all have album covers with them featured with butterflies all over the place. Lady Barfbag, with the butterflies drawn on their faces. Beyonce with the butterfly obsession, the all-seeing eye with the monarch butterfly, the butterfly rings. We've seen it with Britney Spears, who's a perfect example to discuss in regards to mind control programming, because everything you see going on with Britney Spears is because of the mind control programming that Britney Spears has been put under. Her alters that she has. That's why Britney Spears comes out and acts different and weird all the time, because these people have alters created in their mind from the trauma that they're put through, and they access these different alters through the mind control programming that they're put through, in a sense. So Taylor Swift, butterflies, Miley Virus, butterflies, Ariana Grande, of course. You'll see the butterfly marked on their flesh a lot. They mark themselves with tattoos. It's another thing that a lot of them do with pentagrams. Butterflies, not just satanic symbols that most people are always looking for. Madonna with the monarch. You even see it with some of the males, which should be more proof for people out there, because it's very strange to see guys like Harry Styles have butterflies, monarch butterflies tattooed on their body. But nobody thinks anything, what do you think? They're all big fans of butterflies, right? I mean, can anybody actually explain? Of course not. None of them explain, the butterfly, it's a symbol of why they love butterflies. They have butterfly farms in their, penthouses that they have. I mean, they're all just very obsessed with butterflies. Queen Latifah with the butterflies, Rihanna with the butterflies. So we see her, and that's the symbolism is to MK Ultra mind control programming, trapped inside of a glass prison, in a sense, right? Where you see the monarch butterflies buzzing around. Then we get Ice Spice as the Statue of Lucifer. I mean, the Statue of Liberty. And again, the Statue of Liberty is a very easy symbol to see and realize that this represents Lucifer. Try to tell you it represents libertas and liberty, but all one has to do is see the connection between Freemasonry and the Statue of Liberty to realize that it's really a statue of Lucifer. And again, if you do research on the Statue of Liberty, they'll tell you it's Libertas, and then other people will tell you that it's really Apollo with the crown on the head, and other people will tell you that it's Venus. It's Lucifer. Let's just, in a nutshell, Ishtar, we'll just call it what it is. It's Lucifer, the Statue of Lucifer. And if you look at the history of the Statue of Liberty, it's from Freemasons. The Freemasons openly brag about how they brought the Statue of Liberty over. It's a Masonic legacy, the Statue of Liberty. And then it talks about the Statue of Liberty enlightening the world. And that's the key word. When you hear things about enlightenment and illuminate, realize that they're referencing Lucifer. This goes back even with Helena Blavatsky, again, who is another known occultist like Aleister Crowley, who is quoted as saying, "Thus Lucifer, the spirit of the intellectual enlightenment and freedom of thought, is metaphorically the guiding beacon which helps man to find his way through the rocks and sandbanks of life. For Lucifer is the logos in his highest and the adversary in his lowest aspect, both of which are reflected in our ego. So Lucifer, again, the Statue of Liberty, there's a connection between we always see them too, paying homage to the Statue of Liberty. We've seen Beyonce dress up as the Statue of Liberty. We've seen Shakira dress up as the Statue of Liberty. And the key thing to remember with the Statue of Liberty is that word enlightenment. So as we see Ice Spice dressed as the Statue of Liberty, it makes perfect sense for us to suddenly cut to an eyeball, right, in the middle of the video, because that makes perfect sense. We see the all-seeing eye just pop up in the middle of the video with these jump cuts. And for those of you that aren't familiar with jump cuts and subliminal messaging, I have a lot of videos on my website, uprisinglives.com, about these subliminal jump cuts and how they put these things in there and you don't even notice how quickly they splice them in and out. You don't even notice them when you're watching these things in a delta state where your brain waves are lowered when you're watching these music videos or television. They use jump cuts on you. You don't even see them because they flash them so quick. But if you slow them down and you watch all these music videos or TV shows consciously, in other words, if you watch it looking for things, you'll see these things. Instead of being asleep when you watch it, they program you while you're asleep and you're in a delta state, brainwave state. So Travis Scott in the video appears, and I wanted to mention this because I thought it was very interesting. You see New York City behind Travis Scott burning, and then you see cuts to meteors falling from the sky. So it's very interesting because I was going to cover this last week. There was a meteor, supposedly, of course, that exploded over New York City at 38,000 miles per hour, they tell us, which again, to me, it looks like there was some type of test run or experiment done with a meteor over New York City that occurred just a week ago, just as this music video randomly came out, where they're showing you meteors falling from the sky, blowing up and burning New York City down as they watch, and then they say, "Oh, shh," as you can even see in the logo for the song, the meteors striking New York City. And if you're familiar with predictive programming, they show us this stuff before it actually happens. Don't forget some of the other weird things that have happened around New York City in the last year or so, including that earthquake simulation that they did at the beginning of the year in northern New Jersey that echoed into New York City, or I should say affected New York City, because New York City felt the earthquake as well. And we've seen a lot of predictive programming surrounding New York City and New York City attacks. And obviously we all know about all the predictive programming that we saw before the 11th day of September through the 90s. We saw so much predictive programming in movies like Back to the Future, The Simpsons. They constantly were showing it to us, and we're seeing it again. And I don't think they're done with New York City. So we should obviously keep an eye out for any type of potential false flag attack. And that meteor event that occurred, whatever your take is on belief in meteors or not, there's simulations that are being done. Remember, they do a lot of these things beforehand. We know that they run drills beforehand at schools before these events actually occur. We know in Lahaina they were having a meeting about that same exact event occurring at the same time it actually occurred. So seeing a meteor event in New York City, which again, they can create anything in the sky using directed energy weapons, whatever they want. They could create these types of things and then tell you and make it look like it was what you perceive as a meteor to be. So they can get away with these things, right? They could literally fry the city and then show you footage of a meteor hitting with CGI. And people out there obviously will believe whatever they see on the Tell Live Vision set. They manipulate the footage, kind of like the whole manipulation that we did see on the 11th day of September, that people actually still believe that two planes could actually take down two towers, that aluminum could actually cause that to happen to steel, which is just common science and common sense tells us it's not actually possible. So I would certainly keep an eye out on any type of event like this occurring in New York City, because they do use these videos to show us this. And if you look at the actual video itself, right? Oh, what in the world does New York City burning to the ground, being hit by meteors, have to do with them and the lyrics of the song, which are pretty much just talking about grinding up on each other, drinking, and doing drugs? Well, nothing. But they know the audience that watches this is so dumbed down that they could spellcast on them, and this is a form of magic being done on the audience who's watching it, showing you this stuff before it actually happens. That's what they do. So the song is called Shh. Again, another them paying homage to Freemasonry and the secret societies that they're all members of, right in front of our faces, and trending for no reason other than the fact that they trend and they put these videos out there to spellcast on people with them. They tell you it's popular because they make it popular. They want people to watch this stuff. The lyrics of the songs just do nothing more than dumb the audience down. They show you this imagery and nobody thinks anything more of it than, oh, wow, it's Ice Spice standing inside of a glass case. Right? They don't get the monarch, but they don't get any of it. They're just constantly revealing themselves to everybody, and no one's paying attention to it. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.